All right, my fellow Xbox and ponies, welcome back to Frogboy X1 Gaming. I'm Andrew, and today I want to get you so freaking hyped about PC that you will 100% get rid, well, not get rid of your Xbox and your PlayStation, but really seriously consider upgrading to something that's going to rock your freaking world. Now, I want to start off with the 4080 Super because, my friends, if this had been my first experience with NVIDIA, and I knew what I know now, getting into the PC space with this 4080 Super, I would be freaking blown away. And I know that a lot of people out there have that experience. They get that experience when they first get that NVIDIA GPU and they get it all set up and everything's working and everything just comes together like the stars line up right, like I say. Okay, so the 4080 Super is an absolute monster, and I think I'm spoiled now. Like I really do think that I'm like PC Master Race moron because in combination with this LG C2 and that 4080 Super, playing some of the games that I've been playing, dude, oh my freaking gosh, it just looks so dang incredible. Um, Here's the thing though, guys, because when I look at like the 4080 Super and I do compare that to the experience that I get on the 7900 XT, like it is better. Obviously, the 4080 Super is definitely better. It definitely, um, it does deliver more on that ray tracing experience as well as just that overall higher frame rate, refresh rate at 4K without having to utilize, DLSS as often as I have to utilize FSR when I try to play 4K on the 7900 XT. Like it does hit that better and it gives me that higher frame rate. And if I do flip on like DLSS, usually it looks pretty dang good and it does kick that frame rate up even more. So therefore, that really does extend the longevity of this 4080 Super for me. And it makes that experience very, very good. Now I am rocking the app right now. And as you know, I put out like a 2-hour video showing you all that I upgraded to the 7800X 3D, which in my opinion was an extremely good call on my part to go ahead and do that now. I'm getting better 1% lows. Is what 1% lows mean, my friends, is that kind of just gives you like a baseline of how stable your game is gonna feel like with a controller, like feel while you're playing it. And I noticed like a drastic, and I do mean this in the most like genuine way. Like it has been a pretty drastic in the 1% low uptick that I was getting from the 5900 or 5900X over here to the 7800X 3D. Like it is significantly better. Usually within like 20 to 30 frames, sometimes significantly better on them 1% lows. Like on that 5900X, there were some games, guys, where I'd be playing and you would hit like these like really harsh dips every once in a while. Like it would just be like these really harsh dips, or it would kind of waver a lot in the overall just experience. And this is on NVIDIA and AMD GPUs, so it wasn't a GPU thing. I really do think that it was more of a CPU thing, because after changing out the CPU and playing in those same games, it's a lot closer to a more flat line across the board, and it really does help with the overall experience. Now there are still some games that are not quite 100% where I would like them, but it does take a lot of that whole there's a lot of people that are always talking about like PC games being unoptimized or broken or whatever. Honestly, guys, the more power you throw at it, the less hiccups and stuff you're gonna experience. But and I know that does suck, man. I know that sucks to think that like, man, I got to spend $2,500 for a PC. When you look at it in that terms, yeah, dude, that sucks, man. Like you're looking at it completely wrong though. um you have to kind of look at it as like the PC. Now FOMO is a major thing out there. Obviously, I talk about my 4080 Super, my 7900 XT, and I beat the crap out of it. I make a lot of videos and stuff like that. Well, all of the other tech guys are already talking about the new GPUs that haven't even released yet. and they're beating that like a dead horse. So by the time those come out and I pick one up, everybody will already be like, yeah, Frog, those are old. You need to get on with the new ones. And that shit kind of pisses me off a little bit, man. Like it does. It makes me mad. It makes me a little bit freaking bitter when it comes to the whole PC thing. But I don't see anybody complaining to those guys, telling them to stop watching or telling them to stop making those videos. And in fact, those videos get significantly more views than the views I get on this channel. So I don't know, guys. Like it's really hard to gauge what people want when it comes to PC. Do you guys want content that is actually like, look, man, this is the experience that you get with a 4080 Super, you know? And I'm definitely out of the honeymoon phase when it comes to like, I've been out of the honeymoon phase for PC for a very long time. I've been out of the honeymoon phase for at least 6 months. It was, you know, like I was in that honeymoon phase for a while, and then boom, jumped right over to like, this is like where I choose to play games, and this is the experience that I like, that I've found that I like. And I will tell you guys that hooking it up to the 4K TV has been very, very good. Like it's almost like it really is that experience that we thought we were going to get at the beginning of this generation with our Xbox and our PlayStation. This is delivering that experience that I wanted, that I thought I was going to get. You know, I mean, if I drop down my settings a little bit, I can hit 4K 120. Well, I don't even need to drop down my settings. I can just use frame generation. I can just use DLSS quality and stuff like that. And I can boost my frame rate all the way up to 120 at 4K. And it looks, man, guys, 4K on PC looks significantly better than 4K on our consoles, my friends. It just does. And I don't mean to take away from that console experience, and I know that a lot of us love it, and we grew up with it. But I do feel like there's also I think there's a significant, and I mean this honestly, guys, I think there's a significant amount of players that play console that would 100% love PC, but they just don't. They've been scared away with all of the wives' tales, the PC wives' tales. You know, like PC gaming is updating all the time, or you can't play it on the TV, or you can't do this, or you can't do that, or you got to do this and this and this, and even my own experience with PC has probably made that worse. But I'm here to tell you guys, a lot of that was user error. Obviously, if I would have just, you know, got in there and figured stuff out and took it more seriously and not been at first, guys, and this is in my defense. At first, I didn't give a shit about playing games on the PC. I didn't care. I didn't want to. I wasn't like, that wasn't my thing. Like, I was simply doing the PC stuff for creating content. Like, I didn't care about anything else. The PC was 100% for the channel, to do the channel stuff. And then I bought that damn AMD card that's sitting up there on the shelf that I still have to this day. That'll probably be going back here, I'll probably be putting it back in here in the next couple of days or so, because I want to play some. I'm starting to get the withdrawals from not having my AMD GPU in there. I'm getting my adrenaline withdrawals, man, and it's like, oh my gosh, I just want to play. But you know, guys, upgrading the PC is one of those things where, yes, it does, in my opinion, it is going to require like a little bit more commitment, because right now, like, consoles are not necessarily like a throwaway experience, but they are kind of like they're kind of like an experience that you can just jump in, you can jump out, you know, it's like drop in, drop out real quick type experience, whereas PC does take a little bit more of a commitment to actively, you know, set things up, to get things going. And a lot of these settings, my friends, are one-time setup. You get in there, you set it up, especially if you're not switching out GPUs like I do. If you're just using like the one GPU, you jump in there, you set it up, you set all your settings, you do a little bit of research, you figure out exactly what you want. If you're a little bit more like a voyeurism, then you can go and you can like look at some of these settings, both the Adrenaline software and the NVIDIA control panel. There are plenty of settings that you can get in there and play with. I do recommend using caution with the NVIDIA control app, though. Definitely research exactly what it is that you guys want. Because yes, you can get vibrant colors. on the NVIDIA GPUs. You can do like the upscaling and then downsample. There's a lot of different things that you can do, and there's so much more freedom on PC to be able to really dial in that experience to where you can have like a really good feeling game, or you can have like the absolute best looking experience that you could ever possibly imagine at 30 frames per second. Like you could still play at 30 frames per second if your heart so desires. You can do that. You have a lot more freedom. One of the biggest selling points for me is backward compatibility. Backward compatibility is absolutely incredible on PC. You buy a game, you play the game. You buy a new GPU, you play the game and it's better. You buy a new CPU, the game gets better. And it's always like a free upgrade. Like every single time you buy new equipment, your games get better. They look better, they run better. You can say you have a say you buy a GPU right now. The game comes out. Obviously, you've got the GPU that plays the game at like 4K, barely 60. We'll say 2 more generations of GPUs come out, and now you're playing that game at 8K at 60 frames a second, and you're downsampling that to 4K, and it's giving you a significantly higher density of pixels that have been downsampled to that 4K monitor, which makes the game look even better. It's incredible. PC is such an incredible experience that I think everybody should take advantage of. Now, my biggest thing is with AMD. With the AMD thing, is the overall Adrenaline software is just significantly easier to get in there and find stuff and use it. To be able to utilize that, to be able to optimize your games even better. Obviously, you just get in there, you click HyperRX, and that will turn on like all the goodies that are like made for games. And if the games actively support HyperRX, boom, it automatically enables like frame generation, or it'll automatically enable like all of the different features that come with that. Like gosh, what was it? Radeon super resolution. It will enable it just enables like all of the good, all of the stuff, like your latency stuff, and all of that will go away. Your obviously you'll get your frame generation, all of these different features. It's like packaged together to try to make that gaming experience even better. I like the way the AMD GPUs look too, my friends. When I get in there, I mean, it's less setup and stuff that I got to worry about with AMD. I can just get in there and like my games usually always look really, really good. NVIDIA side, I definitely got to tinker a little bit more to get things to look. The funny thing is I got to tinker on the NVIDIA GPU to make it look more like my AMD GPU. And because I love the way that looks, man, I do. I get in there and I'm like, okay, I got to make the NVIDIA look as good as my AMD, and it works. I can do it. And it's really fun, my friends. And here's the thing. At first, PC gaming is going to feel a little bit, I would say a little bit intimidating. I mean, obviously, you're coming from a console, you're coming from a plug and play experience to a PC. Yes, you're going to have a little bit of anxiety. Yes, you're going to have a little bit of not necessarily regret, but like in the pit of your stomach, you're going to be like, oh my gosh, maybe I should have got that, or I should have got that. Especially if you listen to all the other tech tubers out there, man. Yeah, you're going to have FOMO. You're going to have issues. You're really going to struggle. So I want to try to change the content that I build here on Frogboy X1 Gaming when it comes to PC. From switching from consoles to PC, I want to be more about the experience and making you feel good about the experience that you invested in. Because if we take the time to learn our equipment and we adjust settings as needed, we can get a lot longer experience out of these GPUs than we're ever going to get out of these consoles, my friends. And we actually have a lot more. We also have a lot more scalability when it comes to the PC experience. So, I mean, I want to try to help the best I can by buying this stuff, because I'm a consumer just like you. I get all hyped up. I want to buy stuff. I want to play things. I want to try things. And that's the whole angle that I've always tried to come on this channel. I've never once said that I am a PC elitist. I've never once said that I'm a PC expert, but I do enjoy playing around with this stuff, and I do enjoy figuring things out. Like I do. I enjoy it, and it's fun. I get to learn stuff, then I get to make content on it. it's awesome. It's like a revolving thing. Like I get to keep making content. And yes, sometimes I do say the same stuff, but hey man, 75% of the people watching this content are brand new to the channel. So hopefully they stick around. So, all right, my friends, if you guys like this content, don't forget to like and subscribe, man. I will see you guys in the next one. Thank you so much for watching. See if I can remember this way that we went. Well, I guess there we go. So, all right.